Pawn g2 to g3.
Pawn g7 to g6.
Pawn b2 to b3.
Pawn c7 to c5.
Pawn c2 to c4.
Queen d8 to a5.
Pawn g3 to g4.
Queen a5 takes a2.
Rook a1 takes a2.
Pawn d7 to d5.
Rook a2 takes a7.
Rook a8 takes a7.
Pawn c4 takes d5.
Bishop c8 takes g4.
Pawn d5 to d6.
Bishop g4 takes e2.
Bishop f1 takes e2.
Pawn e7 takes d6.
Bishop e2 to a6.
Pawn b7 takes a6.
Queen d1 to h5.
Pawn g6 takes h5.
Pawn d2 to d4.
Pawn c5 takes d4.
Bishop c1 to e3.
Pawn d4 takes e3.
Pawn f2 takes e3.
Pawn f7 to f5.
Pawn b3 to b4.
Rook a7 to g7.
King e1 to f1.
Rook g7 takes g1.
King f1 takes g1.
Knight g8 to f6.
King g1 to f2.
Bishop f8 to g7.
Pawn b4 to b5.
Pawn a6 takes b5.
King f2 to f1.
King e8 to f7.
King f1 to e2.
Pawn f5 to f4.
Pawn e3 takes f4.
Knight b8 to c6.
Rook h1 to f1.
Rook h8 to g8.
King e2 to f2.
Pawn h5 to h4.
Rook f1 to h1.
Pawn h7 to h5.
Rook h1 to f1.
Pawn d6 to d5.
Knight b1 to d2.
Pawn b5 to b4.
Knight d2 to b1.
Pawn b4 to b3.
Rook f1 to h1.
Rook g8 to b8.
Rook h1 to f1.
King f7 to f8.
Knight b1 to d2.
Knight c6 to b4.
Knight d2 takes b3.
Pawn d5 to d4.
Knight b3 takes d4.
Knight b4 to c2.
Knight d4 takes c2.
Rook b8 to b4.
Knight c2 takes b4.
Knight f6 to d5.
Knight b4 takes d5.
Bishop g7 to f6.
Knight d5 takes f6.
Pawn h4 to h3.
Knight f6 takes h5.
King f8 to g7.
Knight h5 takes g7. Black wins.